Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Just making sure that I am live wherever we need to be live, all three platforms. And then we can start the show. Let me just make sure that also sound-wise, everything is great and working. For those who are just joining me, can you please let me know that you can hear me? Elvis Walikosi. Elvis Walikosi. Well, we're going to have a bigger conversation, but we have a jumping point where Pop Steak said some things, man. How are you, Koselihle? Moses, thank you for that confirmation. Everybody else can hear me, Sinja. It's just you. It's just you. Okay, and then one last one. Let's see what's happening on YouTube and make sure that it's fine over there on YouTube. Guys, oh, is it not top quality? Yeah. What do you mean, Sinja? What do you mean? Okay, so let's start the show. Okay, I think I get what you're saying, actually. I think I get what you're saying. Wait, give me a second. Okay, how is it now? Let's see. But you know what the problem is? Let me show you what the problem is. What the problem is? Here's the problem. Here's the problem. You guys can hear me now, ne? Okay, let's go. I'm going to start the show. Welcome, everybody, to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mukwena. I am your host. This show airs every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. We have some of the most amazing conversations on this show. And if you want to watch them back, or you want to see what we've been speaking about over the past few weeks, yesterday we had some very in-depth chats about Hugo Bruce, about Umplom. We had some chats about some other things. They are available in full on Facebook and on YouTube, where you can watch them there. So please do me the favor of following this TikTok account, following the Facebook page, and also the YouTube channel. And then also, if you want to be part of my panels and add your voice to the show live while we are on, you have to join me on TikTok. Follow the TikTok account. There'll come a time where I'll tell you that I'm going to open up the lines. Click on the button that says multi-guest request. I will let you in, and then we can have a conversation. So, guys, I want to use the words that Bobby said as a jump-off point for a bigger conversation, but I want us to hear the words that were said by Upobim Taung, and then we will have the conversation. So let's start out with that. I'll just have them say something there. Hey, Mara Agent, you guys. Here we go. Okay.
It is uncharacteristic of Kaizer Chiefs. Uncharacteristic of Kaizer Chiefs to have such a high turnover of coaches in such a short space of time.
We just spoke about it now. I just explained earlier on, I think, to say it's not been in our culture. It has never been in our supporters' culture. It has never been in our culture to chop and change coaches, even in a season or 2 seasons or 3 seasons. We've always given the coaches a chance, an opportunity to implement the vision and the plan. And I don't know where the culture comes from now for our supporters trying to Zabalaza at the stadium. I think it's a new culture that we don't understand, but it requires patience, it requires understanding and managing. Even those supporters, understanding their questions and their passion and the emotions, what they're going through. The game has changed today. There's betting, there's all these people are emotional. The economy is bad. They depend on certain things. They come to the stadium with hope, to find hope, to enjoy. and find hope to go home happy. When they get disappointed, those emotions starts of what has been happening in the week and whatever. So the culture has changed. Remember, our sports industry is to give hope and joy to our supporters. And that's all. They just want the 3 points. They don't care. 1-0, they are happy. But it's unfortunate, it puts pressure on the very players, it puts pressure on everybody. It's how we're going to manage it and go forward with it. It takes our leadership and our character to manage the process.
To conclude, Fox State, is there a moment of reflection on management's part to say this heightened over has maybe been because of the decisions that were taken? If we start from when Middendorp finishes second, and then he leaves because second position is not good enough for Chiefs, and the list of everybody else has come, but there's been no change in terms of the fortunes of the team.
I think we've got board sessions, we've got executive sessions, we've got workshops. I think the past 4 or 5 seasons, I've never had so many workshops in a season, in a month, that we really look. We sit with the board of directors, we sit with technical issues, where we regroup and re-look. Just before the incident of Malifi leaving and Arthur, we had workshops. Even the FIFA breaks, we have workshops with the executive, with discussing, even with the board. The Chiefs culture, the Chiefs way. We're trying to grind this thing out to say, what is it that, in that space, we lose 2 games. You lose a league and you lose a cup. Supporters are fighting. Now the vision changes again to say, that interim structure, or that structure that we wanted to say, let's build for the season, continue, because we just acquired players with the same technical staff and everything. In that space, as a board, as in terms of executives, and even from a technical plan point of view, to say, these are our challenges, we can see they are forthcoming and everything. This happens. Now, a decision has to be taken because people's lives are at risk, security must be at risk. You understand what I'm saying? So it becomes a challenging factor for us as management, but we are saying it's part of our job to manage and understand the challenges. It's a big brand, it's a big organization. It's not an overnight decision-making, a session where you say, tomorrow we don't want this coach because you lost 2 games, 3 games. No. It's not that way. To build a team, to build success, it's a process. You can lose. Remember Stuart Baxter when he came, he lost games, and at the end of the season, he won the Nedbank and the league. But to win the Nedbank and the league, when do you win it? You don't win it at the end. You win it fighting the battles, going forward in the season. So, then he won the league, he was a hero. The second season, we lost it, being at the end at the same time with 2 points. Now, the second season, we won the top 8, we won the league. Just an example to say, success is not built overnight. Success is not built, but our supporters have, it's not all our supporters, by the way. Our people have a culture now of being emotional and just being irrational. And if they don't like BBK must, and he's their own brother, he's South African. We're trying to give him, when we don't hire South African coaches, it's another challenge. Yeah. Again, Chiefs doesn't like to, when we do that, we, our own people, are the ones who are saying, before even the man starts the job, is chopped. So we are saying we've got patience to build. We know the challenges and we want to satisfy the supporters and the brand and serve it. But we'll always be planning, looking forward broadly, and
BBK's final question. Is management taking ownership of some of the decisions?
Look, we do, because it's our responsibility. Whatever happens, whether we win, it's our responsibility. Whether we lose, it's our responsibility as management. Whether our supporters have issues, it's our responsibility. We're not going to pass the buck to anybody. Leadership must take responsibility. That's all.
Just one final point. There's something.
I'm gonna end it there for time, guys. If you want to watch the full clip, it is 18 minutes of a clip, and it's on KS Mudiba Media. That's where you can watch the clip. Thank you so much to people like Abo KS Mudiba who go over there and get these visuals for us when we're over there. Phew, okay. Now, I did say that I want this to become a bigger conversation about fan culture, but I want to start with the words that he said. He contradicted himself by saying at the end that management takes responsibility, but then earlier he said that we are the ones that want coaches gone, and we are the ones as fans that do this, and they've always given coaches time. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. 15 years ago, pre-Steve Kompela, how many coaches at Kaizer Chiefs got 2 years to coach? And when you question a culture, don't you question how the culture got there? Yes, it's never been in Chiefs' culture to chop and change coaches, but it's also never been in Chiefs' culture to go 9 years, 9 years without a trophy. I just wanted to first start there, right? It's patience. We've been patient. It's been 9 years without a trophy. We've been very patient as Chiefs fans. We sat through 3 years of Compella. We sat through the different coaches that have come through, and we haven't been winning, and they chop and change. Now, I want to get to the actual crux of my issue here. You are management. You made the decision. Fans didn't interview people. Fans didn't give people contracts. Fans don't coach the team. Fans aren't part of the workshops. You know, the workshops in the back, and here's management as executive, as the board, as what. Fans aren't part of that. So if you believe in your vision, you stand by it. If you believe in your vision, you say that, guys, we've chosen this coach because we've done X amount of work behind the scenes. We've done X amount of work narrowing down the options, finding the right coaches and bringing them in. So we are going to stand by it. If you want a South African coach to succeed at Kaizer Chiefs, you have to back the South African coach. Unfortunately, football is a game that has a scoreboard and a game that has tables and a game that has trophies. No one was complaining when you were hiring random European coaches that we didn't know. All we knew is that people were winning. So maybe that should be what management should be looking at. Maybe they should stop saying that it's Betway. They should stop saying that we're zabalazing. They should stop saying all of that and look at the state of the team. What decisions has management taken, as he said, saying that there's a responsibility that management has to carry? What decisions have you taken as management, and have you stood by them? I don't know if Atazwane was meant to work second season, third season. I don't know if Mulifintseke was meant to work first season, second season, third season. But because you guys chose him and you guys stood behind him and you guys gave him the contract, surely then when things were going wrong, you are the same people who are meant to come out and protect that person. And you don't protect them by words. You don't protect them by saying, hey guys, please don't. No, you protect them by saying, by hell or high water, this is our coach. And on top of that, when we speak about cultures and cultures that need to be created, what type of culture are you creating that whenever fans sneeze, you guys move? And when I say people move, it's always coaches that move. It's never management at the back. It's never management. It's always the person in front. What changes, tangible changes, has Chiefs made in the 9 years that doesn't involve a coach? Because there's plenty of positions there at the back. But I wanted to start this conversation here and have it from the point of view of, let's talk about fan culture in the country. Because another gripping fan thing was a conversation had by Wandile Ngube. Wandile Ngube spoke about how the Sundowns need to keep giving free tickets to fans for them to come. And yes, there are other implications, tax and all of that behind the scenes, but does that not create a culture of being entitled? That we are entitled to these free tickets, we're entitled to teams listening to us when we feel something is going wrong. Does that create this culture, quote unquote, that we're in now? Yes, it may not be the exact same thing, the way Chiefs and Sundowns fans work, but are fans in South Africa inherently toxic? A team wins everything. Even the AFL can't fill a stadium on a random Tuesday. Another team hasn't won anything for years, and then coaches come in and coaches are thrown out and attacked and all of that. Let's speak about the culture of fans, guys. I don't want to make it about Kaizer Chiefs. It's a jumping point. But what I'm going to do now is open up the lines. Please remember that you have to be following me on TikTok to join and add your voice to the show. So there's a button that will appear at the bottom of the screen that says multi-guest. Click on it, request, and then jump inside. And then we can have this conversation about fan culture in SA. Let me see. And then. Okay, Dala, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Ngiyaphila uthi ngibingelele wena ngibingelele nepanel lapho nama-overthinkers.
I'm gonna start off with this. What do you think about ama comments wakaBobby there in that clip?
You know, it's actually to hear management in football blaming ama-fans. It's unusual because of we are the fans, we are to support the team, but for management to blame ama-fans and to say we are gamblers, phela uBobby is into eshoyo ukuthi thina we are gamblers, the economy is bad, mhlambe sibetha nge-Chiefs ukuthi wine bese yadliwa. That's what he's saying kahle kahle. So I think like he was talking ngathi uvele wakhuluma, he didn't analyze what he was talking. Ngazathi beyangazimamelanga. How can you blame ama-fans because of Abo Al-Hali? I'm gonna just make an example of our teams. Abo Al-Hali, they fire Abo coach bakhona last even ne 12 months. They always fire them. But they were pressurized by my friends and my fans. I was listening to Kevin Hunt the other time. I think there's a YouTube channel. I think Abo McG. So Kevin Hunt said ukuthi Chiefs told him ukuthi abanandaba ne CAF as long as yena azopusha afike ku top 6 because of it was bad. The other time, and then Kevin Hunt was fired. No one called for Kevin Hunt to get fired. No one called for Abo NS Mindop to get fired. The decision is up to them. So ugutu blame ama fans. Thina suke singekho kuma board meeting. The time they appoint a coach, they lay out ama objection for a coach to reach out. Okay, we want you to win the league. We want you to win MTN8. So blaming off ama fans, it doesn't make sense. How can you blame ama fans, but you are the one making ama poor decisions because of it's been 9 years now. So now you have run out of now sakaphelelwa amaqhinga uBobby ukuthi athini. Now you're starting to blame ama fans. It's been 9 years. So ufuna ungitshela ukuthi the 9 years on it's our fault as ama fans because of Chiefs is not performing well. It's our fault. It's 100% sha ama fans. We are not the first team ukuthi iba nenkinga yo coach and throw things. Pirate did it. Now Sundown did it before. Like we are not the only team that does that. It's just we are just passionate fans in Japan. We are not violent. So for him to come out and like Upo is supposed to defend us, he's supposed to defend the club, he's supposed to defend our fans. How can you say you are gonna blame our fans? It's the ETS under pressure ukuthi baxosha abo coach. It doesn't make sense for umuntu njengoBobby. And then now Bobby is not bigger than the Kaizer Chiefs. It's not bigger than the Kaizer Chiefs. Yes, he is Owakamtaunga, but now he's not bigger than the Kaizer Chiefs. You cannot blame our fans. Ngiyaqala nje ukuzwa mina ukuthi uzoblame ama fans. Why don't you say ama fans asuka kude amanye they buy ama season ticket, amanye asuka bama Eastern Cape to support
bathenga amajezi, bathenga yonke into.
He's not complaining ama sales because of Chiefs always ama jezi akhona sold out and they say wathenga sama fans we thenga lezinto ezingasile ama rubber pen. How can ngithenga ne key holder into engayazi ukuthi ngizoyenza, but he's not embracing that. It's okay, siyabonga support ama fans, keep it up. It's gonna blame ama fans why it's not unfair. It's not unfair kakhulu. Yeah.
Okay. Kumo, I know I said your team's name, but I want to start here. I'm going to come back. We'll speak about your team. What do you feel about what Bobby said here in this video? And welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you. What you know, I'm the biggest shoe supporter, man. Okay, thanks for having me. Listen, you know what, man? The difference between Bobby and Moze and Topi. Topi went to Hilton College. Bobby came to
There we go.
So this one is no, I'm trying to point out something. You guys misunderstood this guy's point. He was actually acknowledging you guys are the shareholders of the club. As much as we don't get a percentage, we make money from you guys, but honestly, you guys are the shareholders, and he understands your frustrations. Whenever management either decisions, he has you to consider. He has you at the back of the mind. He didn't blame any fans in a way. He's saying fans are under pressure.
Which our culture is now.
That is where the Hilton training comes in. That's the what day though. So he told you guys, fans are under pressure. They haven't won anything for 9 years. You guys spend a lot of money coming to support us, and some of you they're like a bad way, which is a fact. So he was trying to point out what do you call this the factors that might cause to stress and some cases depression. So that was the thing that I got from this whole thing. He wasn't blaming you anything. And as much as you guys try to be innocent, we know how our fans are. I myself, I'm one of those fans. I'm very emotive, especially when it comes to my team. Like we had a situation. I mean, remember what happened?
Yeah.
Really, when someone said something about Gunya, now he said something that you guys don't like. You saying he's useless, he's blaming you guys, he doesn't know what he's doing. Or you don't want to listen to what this guy was trying to project. Mara, you only pick out the bits that does push you a certain narrative that you want to achieve.
So then let's look at what he said then. Should management be firing coaches based off of what fans say? Hiring and firing. And when they lose, and they've been going for 9 years, I didn't hear acknowledgement of the team hasn't been doing well. So we understand why fans feel like this. All he said was, you guys are passionate, you've got problems and all of that stuff, you bring it to the stadiums, then when you guys react a certain way, we have to counter and do something in order to keep you guys happy because the better way and not patience. But at no point did he say 9 years. 9 years is a long time.
Yeah, I mean, like, I really had to summarize everything in one thing. Like, it's not like it was. No, more obviously, when I agree, like, you've got the time, you've got the platform. You can speak here for 2 years and analyze things. Yeah, now he was, but he did acknowledge his faults. Right, Kalohang. And most importantly,
which part did he acknowledge his fault, Kum?
Okay, I'm on a limb here. Mara, it's in the same premise. It's a premise, yeah. By virtue by saying, Hore, you guys are bad way, you guys are zabalizing, makes you think and makes you understand, Hore, this guy actually listens to your cries. I guess.
Yeah, but we didn't hire them.
Happily now you guys hire people on Facebook.
But why am I hiring a person on Facebook? Why are fans hiring? Why not management? And when they hire, why don't they say, Mara guys, I'm gonna stay. Mutwaluna came back in the day, came out and he said, no guys, Tina, this is the person that I trust with this thing. Lona, you can be angry, you can do whatever, but now I'm trust you pizza.
Bona utsingeng eyo hara mo Facebook ne fans le rena we can say re nyaka bo CR7 re nyaka bo Messi re nyaka
ke batla Mourinho ke batla Pep
Chapo bona baya behind I get obviously like they won't tell you their deals unless they got transparency from fans to management.
Yes, that's what I want.
Getting the keys. But to buy behind the scenes, okay, sure, like this guy Nabiole Matla, Chiefs. So now you're blaming him. And this guy, but she's offer. Like it or not, you can't have this big fan base without listening to your fans. So at the end of the day, you guys, indirectly, you make decisions. Bahira giving hand. Alina patient because the bitches are very
we didn't hire Kumbo. We didn't fire Kevin Hunt. Kevin Hunt was fired by them behind the scenes. Kevin said it himself.
Because of what?
We were fine with Kevin. We were fine with Kevin. We were about to win a star. We were about to win it. We've never been that. We were happy.
Hey, I'm gonna misquote you now. Yeah, bring in Tendra Polwani. He's got passion. He like.
No, that was after. That was when Kevin left. That was when Kevin left.
There was some times where he was taking charge of things before Jao.
Do you know what Ernst Middendorp said? I'm gonna come, but do you know what Ernst Middendorp said? He said, when I finished second, I went into a changing room, and Kaizer Senior never spoke to me. He didn't want to speak to me. Everybody was angry. I got a dressing down in front of the players. This is when he finished second, right? Then it was over a week later. That's not fans. Now they're trying to make it seem as though Tina, we feel a certain way, and fine, we may have felt a certain way or whatever, but they also have to take responsibility. And I don't like this thing of you're blaming fans, whereas these are your decisions. Hiring Atazwane is up to you. You could have given Atazwane a 1-year contract. You gave him a 3-year contract. Then you said no when it was time for him to go, when it was time for him to do something, right? When fans were doing whatever, you didn't back your man. You get what I mean? Plenty of Chiefs fans here have always said if Zwane got time, he could have done something. We see them every day. So at what point does it become just us? Happy, we are fans, like you said, we're fanatics. You can't give me Chiefs to run. I look at results and then I look at how we're playing. We're not board level managers and all of that stuff. You get me?
I get you. But still, man, in 20 pusha fella are the other factors that was making you guys unhappy. Hence why I offered it's a B6 about Bedway and stuff. I think it was taken out of context.
Bedway, because Raji Wakumo. Realistically win a league every year. Realistically for 9 years, really win a league. But I come CJ, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Yeah, man, I'm okay, but
what do you think of the words that Bobby said there in that clip?
look, I think Bobby said a lot of important things, right? And he left out very crucial things, which I'm very worried about. Because seemingly he is placing Chiefs frustration of fans on Betway and what. And yet the frustration comes from the lack of or what is being produced by the players, by the team on the field. And I find it strange that he's not addressing that. That is the whole commotion, is that we are not happy with what we see happening on the field. And that is where them as management come in. That is where they should come in. When Peter was hired middle of the season by Sundowns, by the end of the season, Sundowns fans were throwing bottles, wanting him to go because they almost got relegated. It was going to be 1985 again, where we are going to have a PSL without Sundowns. But Petrus Motsipe stood by Pizzo, stood by him, assured him of his support and displayed in front of Sundowns fans that I, as a manager, I, as a CEO, I, as the owner of the team, we are behind this coach. Let's give him time. Guess what? Next season, Peter won everything. When is Kaizer Chiefs going to do that? When are they going to stand in front of the... If you can't convince your fans to be with you, to see what you see as a leadership, you don't belong in that position. If you can't convince the entire Coast Nation to stand next to you and see what you see as management so that they can support the team, then you are failing as management. You are not failing to listen to these fans. And you chopping and changing coaches does not mean that you are listening to the fans. That is where I am frustrated with football. Chopping and changing coaches, it does not mean that you are listening to what the fans are saying. It means that you are reacting to what the fans are saying. Now, reactive leadership is very problematic. Very, very problematic. It means that there is lack of thinkers. It means that in Kaizer Chiefs, they don't have thinkers. They don't have think tanks at all. Now, the third thing that is worrying me, they keep on saying, hey, Chiefs, the Chiefs way, the London way. We want to play the London way.
What
you
is
have
that?
to bring us as leadership to the London way. Bring us to it. so that we can see when Patrice was saying we are building something with Upito. We saw it in the next season, in the preseason. We saw it in the players that Peter's buying. We saw it in the development of the structures. We got to see what they are trying to do. And eventually we saw it in the playing. We are seeing it now. I don't understand what Bobby is trying to say. I am really, really frustrated. He is frustrating me. He's standing on public platform. And in fact, this guy is exposing Chiefs. He is exposing that we don't have board members. He is getting on national TV and exposing the beloved brand, which is Kaizer Chiefs. Oh, my daughter. Oh, yini madoda.
Ngiyabuya Sija, I wanna come back. I wanna come back. Let me bring in Sfiso. Sfiso, how are you? You can just unmute there. Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back to. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. How are you, Sfiso? Hayi ngiright but angazi ngathi imic yakho iphansi.
Kunjani?
There we go. Kutele Sfiso uthini ngale ndaba ekhuluma uBobby la?
Hey, okokuqala ngicela ukubingelela mfowethu, ngiyaqala nokungena, ngihlezi ngingena ngilalele ngizwe sisonke sikhala ngale team yethu esikhule saze sabamba ngaka siyilandela. The first note engifuna ukudlula kuyona ile asho yona le athi it's not been culture ye Chiefs ukuthi ishintshe ama coaches, ishintshe isizini ama coaches. I think my first comment mangena ngaqondana naye ekhuluma kanjalo. And my first text engifakile ngathi there's also not been a culture or our culture whereby we go for seasons without winning silverware, and not let alone iminyaka without winning a silverware. So you cannot tell me Uti we will stand against something that we are not happy about. When we are happy as Kaizer Chiefs fans, we show you. We show you as a team, and we show you to the point whereby now you get to a point where we have family as Kaizer. Our fans are a family team. So in the same way, we express ourselves we are able to also we have the right to express ourselves massively unhappy. So that is what we are saying. So I think Poppy is not leading us correctly. There's something that, in fact, not him but management. There's something that you mentioned. It made me think about a couple of weeks back, documentary David Beckham, ne? So there's a point whereby when he was at Real Madrid and Florentino Perez saw that the team, he was changing changing our coaches left, right, and center. But he did not end up at our coaches. But there was a point whereby he stood down as the president of Real Madrid and said, you know what, I think that Inkinga it's not the coaches and the players. Maybe Inkinga Ilactin as management. Let's take responsibility. So it's a lot. We love this team. We just need management to be angazi ngizothini ushilo la ubaba uQuntate phuma manje when Dr. Patrice Motsepe appointed uPitso ne kuye kwaba nzima lapha kwi-Sundowns, but because yena ubeyazi ivision anayo and he shared with ucoach ukuthi coach, this is what I want from you. Do you think you'll be able to do this? And the coach said, you know what, my lead, I'm taking on this challenge. As long as maybe I have your support. I'm not sure, I was not there when they discussed, but it's things that you think about. As long as I have your support, whether comes snow, come rain, but if I have your support, we are going there. What happened? He stood on his decision, and Tatemukwen. So for me, I think it's high time our management, why is this happening? Is it maybe because Chiefs is even bigger than Upopi? He must also see that, you know what, this is bigger than me. This is bigger. Let me step back and then see, am I not the problem, or is management not the problem? Because coaches are changing, players are changing, but the management is not changing. The last point in Tatemuko, the one about I'm a free tickets, Sundowns. I'm okay with them doing it 50-50, ne? I'm okay because it's their fans, it's their support, it's their money. The only thing is that Sundowns fans are South African fans. What happens now when Bafana is playing? What happens now? You said it gets to a point whereby if you're getting something, you feel entitled. What happens when we get to a point whereby they are saying, Tinas, we are used to getting into a stadiums for mahal, and our team is even performing more than this team that we are supporting. So that's the only concern. It's a bit tricky, that one, because what if Nampela, because we still need them as Sundowns fans, because they are South Africans at the end of the day. Baba ngiyabonga, I'll just listen efonini. Ngiyabonga nokuthi ungifake.
Thank you, Bob Change. You put it down well. Guys, I just want to jump in. I think, again, for me, it comes down to ease. It's easy, man. And I don't want to make it just about Chiefs. In the PSL, we have a problem of it being so easy. A coach is a face. That face has many different things behind it. The easiest thing for management to do is to just swap out faces and not deal with the issue. The easiest thing for management to do is to say, fans, you are the problem. You guys come with your problems and you zabalaza at stadiums. It's not the culture, it's not this, it's not that. It's easy. It's easy to put the players out and have those players and no, but we signed 7 players. That's easy. But the hard thing is actually going into the background. I reference Sundowns a lot when it comes to teams because, again, Urulani has a 25-man staff, technical team. Then when you look at the rest of the people up at the top, there's Abo Fleming, who are in charge of something, there's a new academy head, there's the new this, there's the technical director, there's so many people. But some of the problems that you see at Kaizer Chiefs is that, how many names do we have that we know, guys? Let's be honest. How many names do we know at Kaizer Chiefs? And it's easy to go for the front-facing person and the fans. Same with all of the managements in the PSL. Fans don't want to come to the stadium because South African fans are not passionate about football. Yeah, but your team is fighting relegation every year. Yeah, but you're not giving me anything for me to be happy about, right? Why would I come? But then I want to get into a conversation the other way around. Bafana is doing relatively well. Sundowns wins everything. Why then are they not able to attract fans organically for every other game? If there's one team that should be supported to the hill, Tengwa matches against it, it's Sundowns, for example. But you watch some Sundowns games, it's empty. And then you watch some Sundowns games, they have to go free tickets if you're wearing yellow. What does that do to fan culture?
Hey, ngisacela nje ukubeka nje le point le kuBobby. Yazi serious sibhlungu singama-fans ngalento eshiwo uBobby. Instead of saying why, okay, so now it's gonna blame us for ukuthi we don't have a Kaizer Chiefs women's team. Ama-players wethu are not regular kuBafana. Should next time blame thina. So lokhu kuyashuthi now uBobby is fighting us manje sekuba ngazathi uselwisa ama-fans. Now he started ukuthi azolwisa ama-fans in terms of kwezinye izinto we know ukuthi uyabheda very too much. So I'm gonna ngizoza ku-question yakho bengifuna nje ukudlulisa lento. So I feel like
before you answer the question, here's another one. No one consulted fans when they made chips. No one consulted fans mabasayina nekapa. No one consulted fans. That doesn't matter to us. But now in Dabenzebola, siyangena team. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, go on.
Hey, Uthi, hey, the topic le man, hey, ibhlungu man, ibhlungu kakhulu man, ngithi singama-fans man, hey, angifuni ukuqamba man. Yabona the way ibhlungu ngakhona, ngisacela ungiphindela i-question yakho ngoba hey ikhanda lami livele lapho khithana yeyinkinekile.
No, bengithi now when you look at the other side of the coin, for example, Sundowns wins everything. If there's one team that's meant to be supported all the way, Sundowns. But nabo mabukela amagame wabo, there's no full stadiums. They have to do a free ticket and things like that to ensure that the stadium is full. Why are fans also on that end not in it? Yini culture yethu ngama-fans?
Hey, okay. First and foremost, South Africa, I think, is the only country is the only football nation emhlabeni. Ngizothi football nation because of khuluma ngebhola. La uthola khona ama-rival fans ehlele wodwa. La uthola khona ama-rival fans supporting any rival. I think we are the only nation. Akwenzakali. So ezinye izinto with this special as ama-fans ayikhe eMzansi because of, for instance, just saying ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi Sundowns is giving away free tickets, but the Sundowns, they're giving away free tickets whenever we can, not with DStv Premiership. Why? I feel like it's because of who care. They take it as more of like they are representing it DStv Premiership, the whole, and they are representing a country because they are taking over. But the team as a Morocco or team as a Egypt. So to them, it's not like they are playing for for Mamelodi Sundowns alone. But the reason why they make sure which okay, it's free ticket. Nabo bazama ukuba ngathini? Bazama ukuba nomusa to the fans, so wonke ama-fans ase-South Africa. Just imagine uhamba nge-Gautrain yamahala to esuka here eJozi to ePretoria. Just imagine free Gautrain because of yobukela i-Sundowns. And kokunye basuke benzela ukuthi it's because of more ngabheka abo-Wydad bafethu. It's not only Sundowns that is doing it. Nabo-Wydad bayakwenza. They bavele bathenge 20,000 seats. Team, 20,000 seats. They do it. It's not only Sundowns that is doing it. Ngeke ngabona ama-match ebhola lase-Morocco. I think it's called iButolo. I saw you that it was bedlala nenye team, I think as far as Rabat, and stadium was not full. And I've been following ama-matches wabo. Stadium zabo nabo azigcwali ngaleyo ndlela, but zigcwala whenever kudlala ama-rival, ama-derby or kukhepha. So kwesinye isikhathi nathi kwezinye izinto asizibhekile ezile eNorth. Now i-stadium zabo azigcwali as such, zigcwala ngoba mokuthiwa iderby or bezodlala nabo Sundowns because of nabo they are trying to ukuthi kugcwale more fans, kube more support. So it's one of those things ukuthi you still get iMaZulu playing ne-Arrows eThekwini, but there are no fans there.
What's wrong with our culture then as fans? Why? What are some of the factors that are making it that we're not filling up the stadiums? Or Masia, then we're throwing things on the field. Is there something wrong with culture as fans? What's causing that?
Yes, I think the only thing that's causing that it's the performance of the national team. I remember there was a time where as fans, esa give up from Bafana Bafana. And I must give up from national team. Nama team the favor abanye asayite them. Look at 10 years ago. It did bezigcwala kakhulu. Like whenever kudlala ibhola, it did bezigcwala. If ungabheka those times, those good times, it did bezigcwala because of why the national team now was doing well. But manje ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi ezinye izinto i-national team nayo mayibheda. Yes, over singama-fans give up. Thina abaningi bethu ibhola silibukela sihleli like emakithi. We don't even go to stadiums because of you know ukuthi noma uthi uyobukela ibhola estadium kuyafana man, akukho mnandi ngaleyo ndlela leyo the way molibukela endlini. That's why you only go makudlala in iSoweto derby.
Okay.
Makudlala iSoweto derby or udlala iMamelodi Sundowns against Kaizer Chiefs. That's why I go to a stadium. Whenever kudlala iChiefs nalama teams amancane, I don't see the need. Angisiboni isidingo. So ungasho ukuthi yes, if culture is in terms of supporting siya kuma stadium idrope kakhulu after 2010 idrope kakhulu drastically. Yeah.
Kumo, same question to you. Fan culture in SA, why is it? What are some of the factors that contribute to stadiums not being full? Even like, for example, with your team that wins everything, surely at some point the fans were meant to follow. And then on the other hand, you have other teams where they have the fans or whatever, but then you're throwing things onto the pitch. What's fundamentally wrong with our fan culture in South Africa?
Our fan culture, it's not that different from every other country globally. Remember, in the past, we used to have this thing called football hooligans.
Yeah.
Compared to football hooligans, the Kaizer Chiefs fans are walk in the park. So let's not seem
the ultras.
Yeah. So, bruh, it's everywhere. Even big teams, like I don't say, Bontwena, Bo Perez and your Chiefs are struggling to fill up their arenas as well.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, like, even if we were to buy those AFL tickets or CAF tickets, we were gonna buy them. It's not coming from a place of entitlement.
Okay.
Our president, Mr. Motsepe, is a philanthropist. He's always been giving things away for free, ne? So
They wouldn't.
yeah, now when you explain this free tickets meant this thing, it's our tradition. It's a Sundowns thing, and doesn't mean no, it's wrong. We do support Sundowns. Here I'm always fighting for Sundowns on social media. I've got all the time because I love my Sundowns, you know. So it's a way of showing us the fans that they appreciate us. Come and watch an international team, you know, play right there, Call of Tasi. There's nothing wrong with that. Fine. It sucks for most of our stadiums during the week or when they play against lesser opponents, we don't support, and that is really troublesome. But there's so many factors, man, guys. You know, if it's not safety, it's always economic situations, transport situations. All these arenas are not closer to the people that really support them. Yes, you can argue and say in the past, but we need to go and support them. But you forget already, times have changed. The inflation has gone up. A lot of things, but it's not the same as yesterday's, man. So I do believe that we are a very soccer-loving football nation, and we are very passionate. But there's too many factors that go there that affect us. And also happen, now it's really convenient to just stay at home and watch it from home. You know you're gonna be safe. You know you don't have to worry about coming home late, not being robbed. Yeah, man, there's tons.
But shouldn't there be, man? Shouldn't there be that thing, Yoguti? The factors have never changed. The factors don't change when it's pre-ticket. It's still the same shandies, it's still the same stadium, still the same travel. Okay, maybe Gautrain is free, but still the same travel, still the same everything. But if we only wait for that, isn't that a bad culture? That, for example, I will only watch Bafana Bafana when it's 2010 World Cup. I will only watch Kaizer Chiefs like that when it's the derby. And I single out Sundowns only because if there's one team where maybe the fans in a perfect world would go, you know what, you've done so much for us. I'm gonna part with that money for that weekend. You know, when you guys play Atteridgeville, literally you could walk to Atteridgeville, right? For example, the people from there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I mean? Why don't we have that culture of saying, you know what, let's give back, you know? As fans, like, we mustn't always expect the philanthropy of Dr. Petris.
Okay, no, it's fine, eh? But then again, remember, like, where is Mamelodi Sundowns fan base? You go Mamelodi, and you play go at Bridgeville. If you know Pretoria, you would understand Tore Soshanguve is the biggest township. Right? At Bridgeville, actually, it's like maybe population over 100,000 or just under 200,000. I could be wrong on And most of those, they don't support Sundowns. Some support SuperSport, and some do support the Soweto Rivals, right? Yeah, what I'm trying to make a point now, as much as you can walk there, but not everyone supports that team go at Ridgeville. And the other thing, I'm gonna speak for myself as a Sundowns fan. And I support Sundowns, but honestly, I don't like going to the stadiums for some other reasons. Just feel like that's I guess. And we talk a level, if we being fair, I know we always like to make fun of Sundowns and Chiefs, but Hoka level, according to the things I seen last season, in fact, even some of these matches, Sundowns support base has grown. In some instances, we can even argue and say we've had more fans than Chiefs in some games. And that has never happened before. Like and it takes time, and it takes time for a brand to attract new football base. And obviously, Sundowns is the biggest growing brand in SA. So we under entitlement to tickets. We really can afford some. Okay, I can afford tickets. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think the reason why I'm asking is we know that Sundowns can fill a stadium. We see it. You get what I mean? Like, you don't need to mobilize 1 million people to fill a stadium, right? For example.
Mm.
But then why don't we do this every day? We know that Chiefs can fill a stadium. We see it when they go play the derby, you know? And there's somebody here who said it's to build a fan base. It's 7 years of success. Like Sundowns is, every year Sundowns does the most. How long is it going to take for the fan base to get to that point? And why, after seeing so much success, are fans still going, hey guys, doesn't, you know, like the other teams, Caribona, like Chiefs, we're on a drought. Most of the PSL teams, there's 14 teams who haven't won anything. You get me? It's Chiefs, Pirates, whatever. But Pirates, Sundowns. Sundowns wins every year. At what point? What's going to make fans, or let me ask it like that, what's going to make fans come to stadiums?
Hey, bro, you have to ask the others. I gotta give
Okay,
you my
okay. It's-
before you let me go, ne? I want to make a point for why do we go to CAF if the safety and what ne? The thing about CAF games Call of Tars is different compared to the PSL games. CAF, they take a lot of extra security. There's guards, there's everywhere, there's everything. It's not the best, but compared to the PSL, the standard is there. I think they take these international games. Hey, it's nice to say international, ne? No one has ever said it about Chiefs.
Oh, Sundowns, they mar.
No, I'm just saying, you know, about international games, like there's extra precautions because the president Mutsepe is there, so Otlele Infantino, so there's just the one. They take those games seriously as well. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Okay, CJ. Tell me about this fan culture that we have in the country. On one hand, when coaches are doing badly, we throw things. On the other hand, when teams are doing incredibly well, we don't go to the stadiums. What's wrong with South African fan culture? Is it inherently toxic?
Yeah, I think when people say international, I mean, somebody like Africa, they must say interboardness. You know,
Hey, you
interboardness.
guys.
International is when you play Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur. That's when you speak about international.
Hey,
When you're
guys.
playing Al-Ahly and Morocco, it's just interboardness. Yeah, come on, say. They just careless. But anyway, going back to your question.
No, I was
Going back to
saying
your
this culture of is our fan culture toxic, and I want to do it at both
Yeah.
ends. When we're unhappy, we throw
Yeah.
things. We come to stadiums, we throw things.
Yeah.
But when teams are making them extremely happy, we don't go to stadiums until they say free.
but-
Like, nice Sundowns. What do you think?
No, you must
What's wrong with our fan
understand.
culture?
No, I don't think you must understand. Let's start here. Chiefs fans, the majority of Chiefs fans are people that have played football before. It is people that are invested in the sport. It is people that have played the sport. It is people that have supported the sport, went to games, not just Chiefs games, but football games as general. Whereas Sundowns fans, the majority of them, they just demand and Jenny Sundowns while winning and support the winning aspect of football. They are supporting winning. They're not people that have actually went to football or played soccer or whatever. You must understand, people that have played, that are supporting Chiefs, are people that have played football, whether it's in the late 2000s, mid 90s, late 90s, early 90s, 80s, up until 70s, up until late 70s. Now, if you are playing football during that era, the pinnacle of football is Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates. That is why most people support those teams. Versus Sundowns, you must understand there was a time there was no Sundowns in the Premier League. Besingayazi ukuthi team ekhoyo ibingekho and the 16 teams. So you can't expect them to have fans. Like, you know, there was a time with Sundowns, they were finishing about 16, 17, 12, 18. Come on, when there were 18 teams. That's where they used to belong. You understand? So you can't expect them to have a fan base. Now they've got a fan base of people that support winning, not necessarily support football. What I'm saying is this: to prove what I'm saying, the majority of Chiefs fans, you'll find them in Pirates and Sundowns teams. If Sundowns, I'll make an example. If Sundowns is playing Chippa United, I would go to PE. I would drive to PE and watch it and wear my Kaizer Chiefs. See, Jersey, you will find that in the stadium. Because there are Chiefs fans in other, because the Chiefs fans are football lovers in general. And I think that is why they are so passionate in the way they support their own team, because they love football. They are passionate about football. That is why Pirates fans ban stadiums when things are not going well, because they are passionate about the sport. They are passionate about it's a culture going. You must understand, going to a stadium, it's a culture. It's part and parcel of what you do during the week. And if it's not part and parcel of your culture and how you love things, is that you will not see the point. You don't just go to stadiums because you go to stadiums. You go to the stadium because it's something that you love to do. You know what I mean? It's something that you love to do. The environment. Watching soccer at home and on the stadium are two different things. Now, what I was going to say, Mr. OT, before I go down, I would love the PSL to encourage, come up with programs, halftime programs, before the game programs, so that they may entice people to come to the stadium beyond the football. You know, some people go to the Durban July not because of the racing, but because of the atmosphere, the dressing, all the things that is accompanied by going to the Durban July or any horse racing activity. You go to all the sports, NBA, basketball, America, football. There are other things beyond what is done in the pitch to entice people from coming. Not just football lovers, but also people who love the adventure of going out as well. You know. So if you are going to take your kids, to the stadium, there must be other things besides the ball that is played on the pitch to entice them to say, Dad, I want to go to another match again. It was nice. It was lovely. It was a good time. I'm happy to see these penalty shootouts. Maybe they can build on something like that as well.
Okay. No, guys, thank you so much. Let me bring in the next panel. Thank you to the guys that have joined right now. I want to find out, guys, because for me, you know, like we all say we love our teams and we do all of that. And maybe as a Chiefs fan, our frustration comes from the jerseys aren't cheap, the bucket hats aren't cheap, the Tupperware bottles with the colors aren't cheap and all of that stuff. And then now you go there and you get to watch these weird things. It wasn't there love, man. There used to be a love. We used to watch 0-0s and 1-1s and it used to be fun. But now, Nati, we don't want to go to the stadiums like that. We don't feel the stadiums like that. Let me see. Belile, welcome to the show, my brother Unjan Put.
Hey, ngiyaphila mntakababa ngezwa wena.
Hayi mina ngiright ngitshela kuqala. What Bobby said. How do you feel about what Bobby said?
Hey.
As someone no Pirates, akithi awusi Chiefs.
Bayaniphinda futhi labantu abanizwa niyathanda ukuhlukumezeka umphethweni yazi nini. Hey, ayinathanda ukuhlukumezeka. But on what uBobby has said, I think abafowethu bakhulumile ngobuningi now. They've talked about in terms of like address media and also taking responsibility when it comes to management side. Because yena mawungabe uyamuza isikhathi ukhuluma kakhulu ngokublame ama-fans. Kakhulu esithi ama-fans enze in. That's why sike sabuza lana last time when we had a conversation about your Chiefs ukuthi if kulandwe uBobby, I can see the event bekakuyo. It was the event kababa wakhe. I think it was Hall of Fame whatsoever. Yeah. And then so when we approach him, bazokhuluma naye under what capacity in terms of addressing ama-soccer fans? Yes, we understand it's a family business, but under what capacity? Is he a football manager, Musangin?
A managing director or something,
So you see, that's why sometimes structures also are important, because did we notice when it comes to Kaizer Chiefs, any journalist can interview anyone, Jessica or Kaizer Jr. they just talk nje bayakhuluma. So that's why ngithi under which capacity, because sometimes that this is what will lead to comment njengalawo and people not taking responsibility on what they said and they're talking it on behalf of Kaizer Chiefs. I think Kaizer Chiefs is a spokesperson or what?
I haven't heard him speak in a long time, but he's a communications manager. He's not a PRO.
So you see, because sometimes I don't know because Jessica is a marketing director, marketing what?
Yeah, the head of marketing.
Yeah,
But
do you know? Do you as the head of marketing Sundowns? Or your pirate or something? And I never see anyone just talking out of nowhere talking about the team's business. So
yes,
as long as the structure is important, especially on any industry or any firm, you see as people. So that's why it's as especially when it comes to the interview to talk football business about it. Doesn't matter. We're a family member. Why would you anything? They don't do that. They don't do that. We have never heard unkosana khuluma unless accept check lapha masiqeda kwezinto zethu siqeda ukukwatisa abanye abantu uyabona masiqeda kwezinto zethu lezi sidume ngazo mos bakulanda nje lama-check lawayana so kuphela lapho rather than that angeke ukwazi ukuthi uyini ku-Pirates but so that's why the structure is important. Sundowns has built structures and also when it comes to Amasapa I think he failed to take responsibility, as we have also said that they fumbled by expelling Umidendorp after our number 2. And if you look, Umidendorp lost in league
last day.
Last 15 minutes. The last 15 minutes of the season. But they fired that coach. Of which it also happened even Nago Pirate, they've done that mistake even Mokosha Umicho Nasingazambelezi pizza. But one be like number 2 twice. Yeah, twice. I was in power. I was in power. I bafai. Umicho. So it also frustration frustration iyaba khona, and also if which it leads down to le nto ehlala sitshelwa ngayo kuze kuthiwa yeyi sinama-branch and what if ama-fans azolwa and abaphonsela izinto egroundini and then once they work ama-branch okuthiwa ahlala khona, they are holding meeting, what is being discussed there kulawo ma-branch? Because if kunjalo they are really playing that important role. That's where the education of supporting also need to come for. Yes, bafowethu siyadliwa and we are frustrated labantu abasilaleli, but don't you think nakhona futhi ukulahlela udoti or ukulahlela ushaya ukhonje ngamavole it still hurts with i-team le ayisolve next, because at the end of the day yes bangamxosha uZwane or uNseki, but at the end of the day it will still hurt it because uyofayinwa bheka lazi nidlale futhi ninganawo namasupporter futhi
kamnandi mara.
Yeah, bebangathukanga ngithi bayazi indlavini azikho lapha, so yabona. So it also that's why ngisho ukuthi also ama-branch laba abahlala bathi umuntu uyazi musi la eMzansi siyathanda ukuzikhukhumeza, ukwazi ukukhukhumala ufuze umuntu athi hey ngu-chairman sanda kabi leyikhundla chairman of this chairman ake sizameni-ke also try to address ama-issues kuma-branch lawa from the bottom, sifundise ama-supporter wethu ukuthi this is what will happen when we do this. This is not allowed. Yes, we do have complaints and the team and we are disgruntled, but there is a right way to do it. Whether you like it or not, there's always a right way to do things. Because if I go then which means I'm a branching ayikho into ayenzayo when it comes to football. But yes, uBobby ukhulumile as he always akhuluma. You know uBobby is the bra. Is ile out lena ngeke ngahlangana naye le Soweto vele sitheka ibhodlela vele amegedini abiza enye rafu ile out le yasekaze who will talk like now ever laba labantu aselokishini la kuzobrass bani lokishini sabantu abadu brass bani for nothing. They know if but uselu brass bani we know
bambiza Bob Steak food straight
we practical akusiwo muntu vele oformal ozokuthi address issues that hey nani yena very tend to be reckless, and the brand Kaizer Chiefs just need to do justice. Get someone who will talk proper and just represent the team, but Bobby will be always Bobby will just be there.
Okay. Let me bring you to agent. I've spoken to a Pirates fan now. I want to speak to a Sundowns fan. As people who are on the outside, how did you take the comments that Bobby made? And welcome to the show, my brother.
Yeah, hey, I'm glad today. I'm Bandile Shandu, hey. I'm not married. Otherwise, people are going to Zabalaza here, but that's fine. I think I'll marinate you on this on your comeback because you're touching my heart. You're poking the lion in the behind. It's fine. But back to Ubobi. You know, I think Oveli is mentioning something which is very important. You know, this is why teams have spokesperson. You know, and the importance of roles. You know, in terms of the key personnel in terms of spokespeople that are taught how to handle questions, that are taught how to speak to media. You know, you don't just say whatever you say, you know. So Obobi, I don't know what he studied, maybe he studied economics or whatever, but he's not the right person who was taught how to speak to the media. Hence, he always has this snippets that he speaks, you know, that this is my father's business. We know, but you don't have to say that, you know, it's undiplomatic. You know, hence he comes up with the guys who are zabalazing. How can you say old people are zabalazing? You know, it's not proper. You know, how can you say people are poor, they're hungry, they don't have money, that's why they're betting, and when they lose, they bring the frustration on us. You know, that shows that he doesn't have the skills required to be a spokesperson. You know, and again goes back to what Ovelile was saying. Yeah, I'm not surprised he studied transport administration. You can see by his answers that those are taxi rank answers. And back to what Ovelile was saying also, in terms of roles, you know, when you want to talk about football, you know, I'm not going to talk to Urulani about development, what. I have to talk to Fleming, you know. If I talk tactics, I'm going to talk to Coach Ulan. If I talk about the vision of the club, I'm going to maybe find Uthopi, you know. So everyone knows his roles. So when you know your role, you can specialize in that knowledge and get as much information as possible. So that when people ask you, you're able to respond correctly, you know. So this thing of a person having a big title, which you don't know what it does, but it does everything, is not working for Chiefs, you know. And back to my points, yeah.
Is there a merit in what he said, though? So if we look at the substance of what he said, is there merit in saying that Chiefs fans are impatient, that there's socioeconomic things that are happening that they're bringing to games, and that Chiefs management has to move a certain way because fans are doing a certain thing? Is there merit to that, or is he just not taking responsibility?
I think he is answering a very complex question, a very complex problem with simple answers, you know, with easy solutions. This is a very complex situation. It goes beyond fans, it goes beyond coach, it goes beyond everything, you know. If you had to ask me what is in a custard, I would say milk. Am I lying when if I'm saying there's milk? There is milk there, but it's not the main ingredient. You know, there's sugar there, there's something there, you know. So yes, there's a tiny bit of fans there, there's a tiny bit of coaching there, there's a tiny bit of like all these things. It's like I'm saying, it's a complex situation, it's a complex puzzle that you need to bring all the small pieces together to solve it, you know. So I think he's not entirely wrong, but I'm saying he's also wrong, you know, in the sense that, look at this. Okay, let me address how he's correct. We live in it's a new generation. We are a 2 minutes noodles breakfast generation, instant porridge generation. We don't have that patience. We're not a patient generation. So it's understandable, you know. But even the old generation now is impatient. Why? Because they're not, firstly, this is unfamiliar waters for them. They're not used to it, you know. It's like asking a wife to be patient when the husband is all of a sudden abusive. He's not used to the abusive husband, you know. If the husband was abusive before, he can be patient, but if he's abusive now, you can't ask him that, you know. And the thing is, one of my favorite books is called Sins of the Father, you know, by Jeffrey Archer. He's saying every child is a prisoner of birth, you know, that where you are born, it determines the kind of problems you have, you know. So every coach that's gonna come into Chiefs is gonna suffer from the sins of the past. Chiefs has been trophyless for 9 years. Fans have been patient for 9 years. You know, so you cannot ask them to be patient for 3 more years. What we are saying is they should be comfortable with spending 12 years trophyless. You know, that cannot be right. You know, so I understand the impatience of fans, and it's justified that they're impatient. The question is, what is making them impatient? You know, because I think every Chiefs fan that I've listened to is not only complaining about the style of play, he's complaining about the type of appointments you guys make, the type of management Chiefs is having, you know. So the underlying frustration is not just coaches. They can bring their frustrations to the coach because they see him. They can't take their frustrations to Nishurana because I think they'll be arrested if they go there. You know, so
They just take photos, then they go home.
Obo needs to understand where is the frustration coming from. It cannot be as simple as saying people are losing on Betway. You know, that's a myopic view of the situation by Obo. You know, and again, I think the problem is he is also not reflecting on himself and saying Chiefs is not moving with the times. You know, Chiefs is still stuck with the model which worked in the early 2000s and the 90s. Football has evolved. They're refusing to evolve with football. The only thing which is evolving in football, I mean, at Chiefs, is the commercial side.
Yeah.
You know, every other thing is stagnant. You know, that's why they have a very bone marrow technical team. You know, because they don't yet have grasped the idea that a technical team has to be bloated. You know, so I think yeah, and then again he's saying fan pressure. Okay, so is fan pressure making you guys fire coaches, but can make you guys hire the right coaches? Because
Thank you.
this is not a Chiefs fans voting for Odolin in the Directors Cup. You know, you guys don't even consult a Chiefs fans saying we have a short list of potential coaches. These are the top 3. If you guys choose any of the 3, we'll be fine with the coach. You know, so it shows when things are right, you guys don't attribute the whatever the praise to fans, but when things go wrong, you blame them. That is very wrong, you know. And fan pressure is not unique to Chiefs; it's a universal thing. In Europe, they have what we call the ultras. You know, fans have to sit down and listen to the ultras, insulting them. You know, so it cannot be fan pressure. I think it's more of a reflection of the management, how poor it is. So yeah.
Okay. Mto. Bathi seki Betway special once. As bathi isletha stress Betway to Chiefs. How are you, brother?
Hey, I am very well. Hey, how are you to the entire? I'm also greeting the entire panel. Hey, Bafetu Pobia Delele. No,
What
for
do you think
me,
of what he said? Is there merit to the words that he said?
no, guys, let's understand something also. A character yaga Kaizer Mtaung Junior, a character yaga Jessica Mtaung is different to a character yaga Bob. When they speak to media, you don't come out after they've spoken to media. You don't think bebatelela. You just try and understand where they're coming from. So I think attitude yaga Bobby, there's something wrong with him personally. The character trait yake is not of someone who is respectful of fans, the Chiefs, and all of that. And also he's ducking and diving, man. He's ducking and diving because angeke uphike ngabo Betway uphike ngema-fans. I mean, whereas they had an opportunity to hire, as the management Chiefs, to hire Coach Nabi, the guy who was coaching, I think, Simba or something like that. So that guy just said, I want my own technical team. He wanted to continue ngabo Dylan Shepard, no, ngabo
Nozwan.
Atalwana. They also failed with the previous coach, which we don't understand why they are still there. You understand? So if I'm coming to coach Chiefs and you're telling me, hey, coach next to the people who have failed before, and what if they part of the reason why the club has been failing? So any coach that needs to come to Chiefs must come with their own technical team, which was a fair thing by Unabi. So they've also failed to address in the coaching properly. You understand? So you can't duck and dive and just blame it that way and blame it whereas they contributed to the mess that we're in now. I mean, when we when we lost the league with Sundowns, that final, that painful season there, they were supposed to reflect and say, hey, we were close, guys. Let's try and go for number one next year. But instead, we just kept on going down and down and down and down and down. That's a reflection on poor management also. So Bob Bobby must not duck and dive and blame Mama fans. And it's unfortunate. And for me, who same bracket, no, Hugo Bruce, he needs immediate training, Bobby. No, there's no ways you can. Every time when you open your mouth, fans get agitated. I don't get agitated when Kezam Taung Jr. speaks or Jessica speaks. Why? Because they also speak about the same issues. They get asked the same questions, same tough questions. Yeah, but so Bobby, there's something disrespectful about his character, and if he is not careful, it's gonna add to the fire lekhona manje. Because I mean, the frustration. I'm a guy who hlala ethembisa emkhukhwini ethembisa. First of all, the economy is not that good. Ngiyafostela, Chiefs at some point was charging the highest ticket rates. But I complain about social media. There was a game laba charge khona as they wanted. Ngiyathenga lelo ticket lelo ngiyobukela le Chiefs le. Ticket lakhona probably the cheapest one at that time. I think it was $90. Ngithenga the ticket lelo mina, and then ngiyobukela leyo Chiefs le, and I mean I forgo all of the things that I needed to do with that $90 to come and watch a Chiefs that is playing. So it's bound to boil over at some point if you consider which it's not like we play bad in one game. We've been playing bad consistently, and nothing is being done about that. So the ducking and diving is what I have a problem with, man. More than anything, that's before we blame Mama fans, not to just justify event behavior and all of that, but honestly, there are certain things that management now they need to do better. So yeah.
Are you worried at all that maybe the sentiments that Bobby's saying out loud now are the sentiments of the team? Because Bobby said this, and then Kaizer Senior came out the other day when they asked him a question, and he said the problem is social media. Is it maybe worrying that maybe Jessica know how to massage us outside, Mara, inside the house, inside in a Churena, they feel this way fully?
You know what? As long as they are blaming external things and not fixing the internal mess that is Kaizer Chiefs, we are far away from sorting out our issues. We are far away from sorting out our issues because honestly, then it shows that they're not serious. They're not ready to. I mean, I feel like the Chiefs right now need to take the approach of Abramovich, the former Chelsea owner. That guy was not playing. If you didn't bring the results you wanted, he doesn't care. You're Mourinho, you're Ancelotti, you're gone.
Even if you are in the management, you're an executive, a technical director.
Exactly, because he knows what is there for. Football is a business at the end of the day. So it's a results business. So you must bring the results. Otherwise, you don't deserve to be there. Yeah, so I think that's where it got lost. And Chiefs, the Pirates, especially Chiefs. Let me not speak about the Pirates because they're trying. Shame. Yeah, there's some cup nyana every season. I mean, since 2015, 9 years ago.
Please don't say that.
So,
Please don't say it.
Exactly. So there's no a sense of urgency to tell you, man, this thing is not normal. Let's try and work hard. Let's try, even if we go toe for toe in the Sundowns, when they try and sign someone, we force Gutisiba outbid just to make it a bit more competitive. Yeah, so we're just watching the Sundowns. I mean, Sundowns is always going to improve from where they are now because everyone wants to join them. And I mean, the motive for the players, besides the money part, is that they at least will go deep into continental football. So there's some motive. But what's the motive for joining in Chiefs right now? Yeah, but if I had Mendieta complaining the day, I mean, I'm not going to a club where I'm going to struggle to win the league. Yeah, when they were asking him about both Chiefs and all of that. So, and it made sense for him to go to his Sundowns, honestly. And he's not from here. He's not like a local player who's gonna go there for money paid. He's also gonna try and perform. Yeah, but so for me, hey, no, yeah, man.
Let me bring in Capricorn leadership. How are you? Are you still with me, Capricorn leadership? Okay, I'm gonna come back. I'll come back. Putvelile, I want to speak about fan culture now. Fan culture yasemzansi. On the one hand, siyaya stadium when we're unhappy, silahlela izinto. Or when we're unhappy, whether it be Chiefs, Sundowns, Pirates, there's been times we've been unhappy and we've acted out. On the other hand, magwinwa, stadium masgcwale. Can you tell me about this fan culture yasemzansi and how do we change it or what causes these problems?
Ngingaqala nje ukuthi mase ake sidena-ke at least this one is broad. Ayisiye ye-team kuphela njengoba uyibeka kusiyi ye-Pirates or ye-Chiefs or yani. I think I could say ukuthi iphutha esalenza kakhulu wena mntakababa asifundanga nge-World Cup. We had a privilege of hosting e-soccer World Cup and then we didn't learn from it and we didn't take the most important things ebezi-implementa ku-World Cup, especially ngama-fans. First of all, if mangathi uyabheka i-soccer, as much as like people are so passionate about it ngendlela akudlalwa ngakhona mhlawumbe abafana ukhula nalo udlala ibhola umncane uyalithanda, you are so passionate, it's work. But at the end of the day, for soccer teams, you must know that you are selling entertainment. That's entertainment that you are selling. And in entertainment, you will have competition, various competition on other entertainment factor, whether Guma Festival or another sporting fraternity code, zonke lento ezinye you are competing with them. And then sometimes go kunye, we are bound to compete for the same target market. And so you know ukuthi besides selling in 90 minutes yebhola, you also need to sell experience go stadium. Or even people they might just feel that even from usuka endlini to your game, you must sell experience. Because look, when I'm off-season tournament I can bet you like Tembisa ngama Phillies game. Do you know there are people who and grounds are always packed, and there are people who goes there, but bangambuza ukuthi kuyini nakazi, but bekalapha.
Yeah.
They are there the whole day. But akazi uma umuntu indoda winile hayi akazi kodwa bekakhona. Sometimes uzohlala flatela bhekele akhuluma kakhulu ezinto, but because also besides in soccer there is an experience and you might find that even that's not very a soccer supporter. Uyile because uzwile kuthiwa hey lapha kumnandi eziyakhipha lapha nani. So also you must know that as soccer teams ukuthi we are selling experience and to different customers. Some bazoza egroundini by the source of like being invited, by whether your boyfriend or or your colleagues, or I'm taking you out, maybe as a manager, I'm checking out my staff, okay, let's go there. And remember, if the experience can capture that one supporter, automatically that supporter will want to come there every day. It's what you sell before, even and after the game. Because there was a time, if I could just tell a brief story, there was a time I went to a day with my son. But at that time he was like 11 years old. Do you see his quiz bottle? Like there's a put less, but there's a fashion in and there's the Tupperware, there's a school up. There's this IT. So there was
Yeah, ngiphothela lapha bani.
So it was uphethe that quiz bottle and there's a cold drink. So when we get to the cinema, like for insecurity, let's vimp. And bear in mind it derby, I've bought ticket lawa it was 150 at that time. Our phezulu nyana, but when from now on up nyana. Behind layers So the enjoy security car like hey ibhodle alingeni leli ngithi aphathi intwana le uziphetele quiz bottle zakho do you see it's a child I know ayingeni. And the worst thing, like logically, angazi ukuthi izinto zenzeka. A guy pass eceleni kwami uphethe ivuvuzela. I'm asking if ivuvuzela iyangena but squeeze ball sometimes again. This is logic. And uma umtshela sometimes kanjalo, uyakwata yong. Like gosu yabote son. Now I'm just being exposed kokunye. Uyangibona? Okay, ngiyathi ukuthi ngijike ngiye parking ngithathe isibhodlela lentwana yami ngilifake emotweni. You come back in a place where you have to sit. Kugcwele. And you ask the security food, look, I've got this type of ticket. I'm supposed to sit here and this way. Athi kugcwele manje mina ngenzeni. So you see, and remember, I've taken out my money. I've taken out my money. Ngokuthenga lawo mathikithi lawo. Even ngisho nele Ngozi ngithenge same price because I knew ukuthi vele ngizoba naleyo nkinga le if I could go with this ukuthi hayi umntwana is under bani. I have to. I just bought the same ticket. You pour out your petrol from Etembisa to go to FNB. Is petrol everything? You go inside. This bottle will shile, and then there comes the uthi uyofuna cold drink like 330. Bakutshela nge-20 rand. 330 is 20 rand. Another money futhi iya edeka lapho. Uthi ufuna this type of stuff, but you know we only for this stuff. Those are type of experience that we encounter there. And of which, if you are providing entertainment, you don't need ukuthi kube nenkinga enjalo. So you address those issues. Abanye ama-supporter, people who come to your event, it won't be difficult, man. They will love you. That's why you've got some of the music festival on in people they know. It's like, yeah, this year I cannot wait to go to that festival. They're already talking with 9 months before, but they're already talking about it. So they are looking forward to that event when Ozobu hosting. But if you are not going to sell me the experience, whether to me as a soccer player or anyone who's been invited on that day, and sell that good experience and sell bad experience, abantu abazoba bashayina ngamavuvuzela babhemela ephambi kwami kwenzakalani phambi kwabantwana, it also becomes a problem. And I also don't know ukuthi on this big stadium that we've hosted Welcome, was it number FNB, Ellis Park, Peter Mukaba, Moses Mapida. Why we didn't continue? Those seats there are numbered. Seats there are numbered. They've got numbers. So, and if you buy a ticket, I still fail to understand why you don't allow people to sit there where they bought their ticket. Some people, they don't like inconvenience. They really don't like inconveniencing. They don't. They're so precious to their time. They know, okay, if in some 7 people are 3 and I'm like shy song 1, go 2 o'clock, I'll be at the stadium. And then the cases of me just being here, figure out if it's family corners available that I've bought. Nyakhona ukuhlala lapho kulezi itelam ezingabo at Ridgeville on the other side, Lucas Moribe, ezingana seats. It's understandable. But if you are going to use this big one stadium, it is try to be professional and sell the best experience to any customer that you're gonna come to watch your event, whether it's a soccer player, a soccer fan, rugby fan, or umuntu wase theater or an actor whatsoever. They must just feel the experience that will make them to next time to look forward to come to whether it's Soweto Derby or African Football League final. That's it. It's about the product that you are selling to people. Whether you win it and it's about, at the end of the day, it's about the product. People don't like to pay for bad experience. I want Namvel.
No, I hear you. And then Malka to Bugeli draw. One shot on target, both teams. Thank you, Velile.
Okay.
Agent, same question to you. Are we inherently toxic? Are there things that are creating the toxicity? And the toxicity doesn't just come from throwing things on stadiums. Are we just negative outside on social media? What's influencing these cultures, this culture of fandom in SA?
Okay, I think Muteveli was saying a lot of things which kind of reflect my point. Some of us, like, there's a specific place that I want to sit in Loftus. Like, if that seat is not there, the game is not nice, man. I need to have the full view of the stadium. I can't sit behind the post. And I have to sit up top, somewhere up top. I can't remember where I sit. You guys will attack me, but it's fine. I think here's the thing: football has evolved, in terms of the commercialization of it, and the more it's a simple concept actually. The more you pay for something, the better you expect the quality. The reason why some people prefer Jacobs over coffee is they want a great experience with Jacobs. So it has to be like that. So if I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm spending so much money on Chiefs, then I expect better from Chiefs. It's only natural. So excuse me. So I don't blame people, and this is a service industry. It's a service industry. So if we are in a service industry, if people don't like a product, they must express dissatisfaction somehow, because it's not a product. It's not like they can stop buying it. You know, it's a service, so they must show dissatisfaction somehow. You know, so that how can they show it? They can boycott it, but you know, it's like asking Manchester United to boycott stadiums. If you boycott, tickets are available, someone is gonna come and grab it, so you might as well. You know, so just like the Chiefs, if you don't buy a ticket, Chiefs, someone's gonna buy it. You know, if you're saying you're going to boycott Soto Derby, someone's gonna buy that ticket, obviously. You know, so in the grand scheme of things, you are irrelevant in that sense. So you have to show your frustration somehow to show the service provider that I'm not happy. You know, and the case of football is that you cannot change teams. You know, you cannot be saying Sundowns is winning, I'm going to change. I'm no longer a Chiefs fan, I'm going to support Sundowns. You know, unlike other services, if I don't like Vodacom, I can go to MTN8. I'm MTN8, I mean, you know. So it's difficult. So you have to understand that the only way to show your frustration as a fan is to show it voluntarily. Not that I promote violence, but you have to show it by throwing things there. You know, so it's I don't blame them. You know, and
But have we become more negative? Have we become like, you know, whenever they speak about social media, especially the older heads, they say that it feels more negative. Are we more negative, or is it just a thing?
No, I think it's the thing is, it's you. How can I put it? You can hear the majority at once. You know, back in the olden days, if I'm here in Pretoria, you are in Centurion, Abutu Kutwe is, I don't know, Johannesburg or whatever. It's difficult for us as a collective to show you our frustration. But if it's social media, we can show it to you at the same time. You know, so. Maybe it's not that there's never been frustrations at this level. They've been there, but it's been difficult to comprehend and get them across, you know? And back to the Sundowns point that you made, actually, you know, I think it goes back to the football culture that has evolved. That because now, in the olden days, entertainment was the thing for football, you know? Tickets were that cheap, you know, entertainment, everything, alcohol could get in, everything could get in. The reason why they can allow Vizela and not allow a bottle is because they want you to buy the drinks inside, you know? And excuse me. The reason why I have a feeling that sooner or later Chiefs is not gonna allow Amazimba Chiefs. They want you to buy the Azimbas inside, you know? So it's football culture has evolved from being entertainment, family event to a commercial side, you know? And I think people expect football to evolve. Fans to evolve. I'm sorry, fans not to evolve with the football, you know? Now it's rare that, look at what Mutsepe is doing. He's trying to say, guys, come and enjoy football game. My cars will be there. Everyone will be there. Come and enjoy the game. But because you're not used to that culture of the new culture that people take from us, you find it strange. You find it, this doesn't make sense. Because why? The current football culture is teams have to squeeze the very last cent from our pockets. You know, I wouldn't be surprised 2 years from now, Chiefs start selling Amazinho, you know, they start selling seats, you know, so that they can take the last 2 rand from you. If they're taking 20 rand from Chiefs, they want to create something to trade that 2 rand from you, you know. So it's football cash. They want to be commercial.
But then does that free tickets harm or hurt a fan base? Because I understand maybe you do it as an activation once or twice, but if it then becomes the culture that, you know, when you're playing CAF Champions League, I know it's free. And if it's not free, what happens then? And I'm not saying that, it's not to say that it's not a good thing that Mutsepe is doing. I'm just asking for the culture side of it. Do you not then teach people that, oh, okay, I'll only go to the stadium when it's AFL. I'll only go to the stadium when it's Champions League. You get what I mean? The comment I was making was more of, if Sundowns was winning everything, you'd imagine that fans of Sundowns would go, you know what, man, we love this team. They're doing everything for us. I don't mind braving some of those things that are happening, stadium safety, what, all of that stuff. Funny enough, that doesn't matter when we say it's free and it's a CAF Champions League final. How come we don't have that type of buy-in from fans?
For a loyal supporter like me, I go to almost all the home games when they're Loftus, you know. So we are allegedly 57. Omotsepe's vision is let's increase from 57 to 87, you know. And the question that Ukumo is saying, I am lost here. The answer is simple. The fruit of what Umotsepe is doing now would be seen in the second generation, not in our generation, the generation after. Because I think those are the people now who have the ability to say, I am no longer supporting Chiefs, I'm supporting Sundowns, you know. So now I think Sundowns fans are going to increase from 57 to 67 in the next 10 years or after maybe 10 years. You know, when the 12-year or the 9-year-olds, the 8-year-olds are 18, 19, you know, because from, let's say, 12, 13, where you understand football more, up there, you cannot change your football club, you know? So for you to keep attracting, those fans, you must entice them to say, come on, guys, come at least 8 games in a 52 games, at least come and see 8 games of us, you know? Yeah.
Well, no,
So
the
that's
question why I'm asking is that we see the full stadium. I mean, it's not just Sundowns. But I'm using Sundowns because Sundowns is the most successful team over the past 8 years. They have been winning everything. It's not like when we started supporting the Chiefs won trophies every year, but it was IM10, 18, you know, Rothmans another year. You guys are you guys are killing everything. You guys win the league every year. You are deep in the Champions League every year. It's a different level. And we see the stadium full when it's AFL final, when it's Champions League semi-final. We see it full. You get what I mean? Like, it means you have the capacity to do it. You get me? Why don't we see that followed through, or half of the stadium? You get what I mean? Why don't us fans go, you know what? I love my team so much for what they've done. And maybe it's because I am of an older generation where my love for Chiefs and my consistent support of Chiefs comes from that. We will buy the jerseys and buy the what and buy the what because we love Chiefs so much, no matter what the prices look like. How do you do that in this age then?
You know, I think before I kind of answer your question, you mentioned Bafana. I think Bafana game should be free at all. You know, they should be free. I don't think it's necessary that they charge, you know. And I don't even think Bafana JC should be expensive unless Bafana is winning, but Edas Karabome should be very cheap. Should be cheaper than the Chiefs and Sundowns jerseys. But to your point, here's the thing, OT. Like I'm saying, maybe the problem is the football culture is involved to the sense that we are used to being squeezed. So when someone is giving us back, is foreign, you know? And I would reiterate that again. I don't want to go into the economics of what how Mutsepe is doing. I just want to stick to the basic side of things. Here's the thing. Sometimes I think I mentioned this some shows back that I'm hearing there's going to be a change. I'm hearing there's going to be a change at Loftus in terms of the seating capacity. The thing is, when we're at Loftus, we sit behind the camera. So the stadium sometimes is half full, but looks empty because the camera is facing the other side. There's no fans, you know. But I'm hearing that the master drama and his crew are going to be sitting on the other side. So I think it's going to look better on TV, you know, unless they were just doing it for AFL games, that is fine. But I think here's the thing that, we must understand that teams has to give something back to us also. You know, they can't be, if your argument was, I would get it. If your argument was, at least let Umotsepe have maybe, since we have 15 home games, if 4 or 6 of those Premier League games are free instead of CAF, I would understand, you know, that your argument. So what I'm saying is, it's not an activation, it's a reward. What are teams doing to reward us? I asked the same question to Chiefs. Chiefs says they get rewarded by being given cheap plastic bags and skippers, you know? So teams have to get into the culture of giving back to the fans, you know, because we spend our money on them. So they should spend their money on us, you know?
No, I hear you. It comes from, it's now 7 years of mega success of Sundowns.
Yes.
You know what I mean? At what point then do fans turn around and say that every year, every year, we know when we go into the final stretch of the league, it's free to get in. We know when we go to the Champions League, it's free to get in. Every year. We know that you've spent so much money without getting anything back. We know that Sundowns is starting now to get sponsors, but most of this thing was coming from you. Now, after 7 years, you can't fill a Champions League, an African Football League final without making it free. At what point does the team itself go, we have been giving? Motsepe has been extremely giving for 19 years. And after 19 years, doesn't anybody come in and go, yes, to reward you, you know? That's why Chiefs fans, because we experience so much success that to this day, we will still buy all the jerseys. You get what I mean? Yes. And it's not because of, they fleece us now. Yeah, they're trying to fleece us now. But it's that thing of, you know what? Yeah, you've earned my money now, and I will buy the tracksuit at 3,000. I will buy the Tupperwares. I will buy the tickets. And obviously, it's not the same level, but you get what I mean. At what point then do fans do that?
At what point is, let me give you a year, you know? We're in 2023. In 2033, that will happen. 10 years from now.
So you want him to go 2033, 29 years. So he must go 29 years of giving everything to you guys. I'm doing it from that side. You guys who are loyal, the people who are loyal, the people who fill up Loftus and all of that stuff when it's Champions League final, then it's free. At what point do those people, not new fans, what point do you guys go, oh, well, we're gonna give back to the team, Shem? It's Stadium.
If you're saying it from that point of view of saying fans, the reason I said 10 years is it has to be constant success for you to develop that kind of loyalty. To say, even if at Indlane I don't have meat, I'm gonna spend my last 40 rand to buy a ticket. You know, it will take us that 10 years of constant success. You know, in the 19 years, you'll see it wasn't always constant success. We had that 7 years, I think 2008 to 2014, of not success. You know, you don't build blind loyalty by going to such spells. So that's what I'm saying, to 10 years. But to your point, yeah, some of us, I even have the new AFL kids. Some of us are loyal like that. But but lastly, to your point, I think so that now it's becoming a conversation.
So that yes.
Yeah, I think to your question, that what are you gonna reward Motsepe with? We must never again over, what is it? We shouldn't, what is it? What is the word? Not take into consideration the fact that people who support football is the 80% poor blacks. You know, I think you go to Loftus, exclude families of football players, I think you're gonna see maybe 3 or 4, less than 10 white people. So majority is the black people, the poor people. You know, if I don't use the car, if I'm going to Loftus, I spend 120 on Bolt and plus 40 on to go and come back, plus 40 on the ticket, which I spend 160 just to go to Loftus, and I'm nearer to Loftus than most fans. How much do a person in Mamelodi, in Atteridgeville, in Janguve spend? So we should also take into consideration that it is the poor who support this. So sometimes we must.
But at the same token, you'll see the latest Chiefs kit all over Mamelodi. That's 1,100. That's what I'm trying to say. You'll see the same kit, 1,100. You'll see
most
pirate
t-shirts that you see at Sundowns, you know, I think they were won by Esrom Nyandoro. No offense. But what I'm saying is, guys, we should also take into consideration that the black poor people also go to games, so if we can subsidize somehow, then why not, so let's not be
Okay.
about it.
Okay. Let me bring them Tom Tom. Are we toxic as the South African fans in J? Are we toxic in both all the spheres? Are we toxic in that when things are going wrong, we go crazy, whether it be throwing things, whether it be going off on social media? Are we also toxic in the sense that when things are going right, I use Sundowns as an example, where things are going all the way right, like the rightest you can go, they don't come to the stadiums, they don't fill out the stadiums up until it's free tickets. Is there a problem? Can you explain that to me? What is it about us fans?
Yeah,
in
the
SA?
first part about being toxic, sometimes it's the passion, it's too much. Yeah, I mean, you look at our fans, that I don't think in the world you'll find the type of fans that we have. Yeah, but you find someone who take cabbage, meaning somebody has created a coffin out of boxes. We're that passionate. So we put everything, our heart into supporting our clubs. And sometimes we can't handle that disappointment. And it's like that. We generally are a passionate society in South Africans. Yeah, but that's why even before in 94, how we were protesting, we are singing, it's wild. That's how we are. Because when we want to voice out our displeasure, we do it that way. So it comes from also that. But also, like I said previously, when I pay a certain amount, even who agent just mentioned it, Manje, I pay a certain amount and travel, including my traveling costs and all of that, only to find the Chiefs that is playing so badly. Yeah, but I don't have the emotional intelligence to understand now. But it's just a football game. I'm like, I love and love. They've wasted my money, my time for this. Yeah, and then I vent out that frustration on the coach or on whoever needs to get the message. But it's unacceptable. Yeah, it's not the right way, of course, but I think that toxicity comes from mainly that. Yeah, but for me, yeah. And then with the issue layer Sundowns, it's also a missed opportunity from Sundowns. I'm not sure if they have a marketing department, because given that they've been this successful, they should be taking advantage of that. But it's down to the fact that Motsipe has allowed it to continue the way it is. There's no pressure with Sundowns to do that. Yeah, so which is wrong in itself, because they're not running Sundowns like a football business. I mean, they just doing it for the sake of they do it more with the heart in mind than the business side. Because for me, if Sundowns was to do my activations all over Pretoria before AFL final, guaranteed it was gonna sell out. My shopping complexes, all the shopping complexes around the Makas, that's gonna sell out. Who doesn't know about a brand of football that Sundowns is playing? Who doesn't see that Sundowns is a level above every other club in the country? You see, so for me, I feel it's fine to give them a fans, but at some point it needs to the fans need also to put their their support. Their support needs to be more financial. I don't think Sundowns is going to rip my fans off like the Chiefs, where they're gonna sell premium, whereas the product is bad. I think even if it was still $40, it would be fine, fair, and the fans would attend. So they've missed that opportunity for me. But again, it's down to the fact Yoguchi Motsipe doesn't want to focus on that part of the business. So he's putting a lot of heart into the decisions they make as a club. So, which is commendable, but at the end of the day, football is a business. So
But I want to know about the fans. I want to know about the fans. I want to know about the fans, because
I can hear you now.
Can Sorry, that was my bad. That was my bad. The reason why I'm asking, and I want to make it from the fans' perspective, why then don't the fans themselves gather themselves up and do that? You know what I mean? Why don't the fans? Because like I'm saying, fine, Mutepe doesn't need to do any of this stuff. He doesn't need to spend as much. They don't need to turn a profit. They don't need to do all of that, which is great. It's commendable. I'm talking about now the love of the fan. So from a fan perspective, what's stopping Sundowns fans from going, yes, this team has done so well for us as the fans that we are now going to go support them? Is it a time thing? Because, for example, the Kaizer Chiefs, we don't buy Kaizer Chiefs things because of their performance right now. We buy Kaizer Chiefs things because when they were performing very well, we created a link to them that we're going, you know what, guys, Derby is some of the most expensive. We're going to go and buy those tickets. How much is it? It's 1,100. We're going to go and buy those jerseys and they're going to sell out. You get what I mean? How does Sundowns create that for themselves? Or should where do the fans come in with that?
That's the thing. That's the topic we need to be having because honestly, we're looking at this also from a perspective of management. But as the fans, especially my friends at Sundowns, really they've got a lot to be proud about. I mean, Sundowns have been outperforming every club domestically, and then they're now doing it at the continental level. I mean, really. If it was turned around and it was me as a Chiefs fan, I would definitely now be encouraged.
If Chiefs was winning leagues and Kev.
Yeah, let me just tell you a story. I remember in 2015, the last time we won the league, I went and watched a game here, Black Leopards versus the Kaizer Chiefs. And I was shocked when I got there. I thought it was just gonna be a few of us. It was bad. I mean, I remember they announced. I think we were 60-something thousand in that match. Yeah, but in that match, and that tells me, you know what, the people that are sitting at home, they just want them results. Good Chiefs. I'm speaking specifically with Chiefs. With Sundowns, I think it's more complacency now. They're used to it. So, man, what's on? I'm not gonna go there. They're gonna win. Maybe it could be that too. Yeah, but they need to back their team much better than this thing of going only when it's freebies. It's a bit disappointing because honestly, if there's one club that deserves that genuine support, it's Sundowns because they've done the business on the pitch. So for me, the fans need to come through now.
Okay. Capricorn leadership, are you with me? It seems like Capricorn ageko. So yeah, guys, look, the reason why I wanted, obviously we started with Upobi, but I also wanted us as fans to introspect when we speak about these things. Yes, I started off by saying that fans shouldn't do all of this stuff, but I wanted to get to the point, and I know it's not just us. I know there's other factors that come into this thing. There's the reason why nobody's watching Bafana Bafana, because you don't know about the Bafana Bafana when they're playing. You don't see enough of them outside. There's not enough marketing done. There's not enough PR done to let people know. So a lot of people don't know that Bafana Bafana is doing well, for example. But I wanted us to look at the spectrum of fans, because at the same token, I'm an Amazulu fan, but I'm not going to go to the stadium. What's causing that? Can it be things that are simple, like the TV? We've now got Dstv, so because it's more easier for me to watch at home, that contributes. But if that's or my team is not doing well on the pitch, therefore I'm not going. But then when you swing it all the way over to Sundowns side, where Sundowns is doing everything. Sundowns is doing guys, there's no team. Sundowns is doing everything. So at what point do fans then go, I'm going to support that? And then is the reason about the results? You know what I mean? We know we can pack stadiums. The Derby packs a stadium every year. None of Chiefs hasn't won anything in 9 years. They pack it every year. So there's the ability to do it. Mamelodi Sundowns, when they go into the last stretch of the year and it's the last few league games and they're going into the deeper into CAF and they're doing all that stuff, it's stadium satkwala. So there are fans enough to fill that stadium. My question then becomes, what is the situation then for South African fans to come and watch games and fill out stadiums? Because Chiefs is not winning anything. You can say, no, you're not doing it. Sundowns is winning everything, but they have to go free for an African Football League final. And has maybe Sundowns inadvertently, in their love of the team and doing everything that's right, maybe they've created an expectation from fans that, guys, the African Football League is going to be free. CI. You know? Mukwena was saying the other day that some of the Sundowns fans, or one of the things with Sundowns is that they don't sing the whole match long, right? What's causing that? Are we as fans maybe a bit of the problem here as well? And not to say that Bobby's correct in everything that he said, but can we also introspect? What are the things that are causing all of this stuff, right? But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back again at 8 p.m. We'll have another very in-depth topic to speak about. So I'll see you guys then at 8 p.m. If you have not followed, please follow. I laugh at supporters who think Chiefs can't afford pizza. Please follow this account, the TikTok account, the Facebook page, and also the YouTube channel. They are available. All the things that we've spoken about for all of the months we've been on are available in full on Facebook and on YouTube. So you can watch the other really cool conversations that we've had. You're doing a live show. Is Downs doing something? Is Sundowns doing something? Today. Sundowns is playing today. Wait, guys. Oh, Sundowns is not playing today. Hey, Banna. International break. Oh, the ladies. Hey. Yo, I was like, what's going on? Oh, the ladies. No, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll watch the ladies. Let's do a watch along of the ladies tonight. That's fine. Starts at 7. Okay. We're going to be watching Mamelodi Sundowns ladies at 7 p.m. Tonight. So let's go ahead and do that. It's cool. Thank you guys so much. Then 7 o'clock, we'll be here. We'll watch Sundowns ladies also doing incredibly well in the Champions League on their side. So yeah, okay, 7 o'clock. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you guys at 7. Oh, shout out to Charis. Thank you for joining on YouTube. Thank you.